Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I do want to say, if you see this thing start giving off steam, like, don't mind, that's my diffuser. It's just letting out oils. For this video, I'm going to do something very different. I am going to tell you pretty much struggles that every Paraguayan person has, and also like the really good stuff about it. For many of you guys who don't know, I am American, but I am mixed with Costa Rican and Paraguayan, so that makes me Hispanic, and I have the best of both worlds. And I am making a video about mainly Paraguay because I know more about the culture there. I learn new things every day too, and I'm also learning more about like Costa Rica's culture and just stuff like that. So if you like this video, my next video I will also do struggles on Costa Ricans have. So to give you a little background knowledge about Paraguay, Paraguay is a small little country in South America. It's between Argentina, Brazil, and Bolivia. It's a landlocked country, so that means we got like no beaches. If you're gonna go to the beach, you gotta go to Brazil. So it's home of the large swamplands and subtropical forests and the Chaco. A lot of you guys know what the Chaco is. The Chaco is like more of the farm part, like the campo and all that. So they had the wilderness there, the savannas. The capital of Paraguay is in Asuncion. It's a very beautiful city. I highly suggest if you visit Paraguay, you should go to Asuncion. Unless you like the campo, then I highly suggest you go to the Chaco. Asuncion is pretty much on the banks of the Paraguay River. So if you were to travel from, okay, let's just say New York City. If you take a flight from New York City straight to Paraguay, it is a 12-hour and 44-minute flight. Mind you, when I travel, I don't go straight. I go from New York to San Pablo, from San Pablo to Asuncion. So, to get into the nitty-gritty stuff, I'm going to share with you some of I'm going to give you some history about Paraguay, but I'm also going to tell you like the funniest struggles. And my Paraguayans out there, some of you may relate, some of you may not, but this was stuff that I picked up growing up and I had to learn. And especially when you're an American and you go from one different type of culture, especially New York culture, to their culture, let me tell you, it's different, but I love it. I honestly love going. And I'm also going to be putting pictures and videos for you guys so you can see and kind of get a better understanding. But since we're talking about my country, one of my countries, I rather just fit the part. So, okay, that's a whole lot better. Special effects are great in editing. The first thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is yerba mate. For many of you guys who don't know what yerba mate is a type of herb that we use when we're drinking tereré, mate, or cocido. All three of them sound very different, but they use the same exact thing, which is yerba mate herbs. So, for any of you guys who don't know what yerba mate is, I am going to give you guys a bit of a history about it. So, yerba mate has the strength of coffee and the health benefits of tea. The difference between mate, tereré, and cocido is mate is hot, tereré is cold, and cocido, the way you make it, like, I'm gonna go a little bit into detail, I may confuse you. So with cocido, you're basically going to burn charcoal. You use the yerba mate, you put sugar, and then you make this kind of tea, which is really good. Like, I used to always add a lot of milk and sugar, but now I could just drink it black, but it's so good. Yerba mate is made from the naturally caffeinated and nourishing leaves of the celebrated South American rainforest holly tree. So, I mean, I'm learning something new too. I mean, I take it for granted because I have it in my home and I drink it all the time, but yeah. Nowadays, like, a lot of people are trying to be very healthy. So a lot of people are actually drinking mate and the yerba mate herbs because it's very, very beneficial for you. And Paraguay is not the only country that drinks it. I know Argentina drinks mate. In Paraguay, if you travel there, hands down, you will always see someone carrying their tereré canteen or their mate. Best believe they're not leaving their tereré or their mate, like, no. So the second thing that I'm going to go into is pan. If you're Paraguayan, you know exactly what I mean by pan. For any of you non-Spanish speakers out there, pan is bread.
Fun.
They put bread on everything. Like, it never fails. Like, they have to put bread on everything, like, hands down. So we went to the shopping center, and you know how you go to the mall, they have the food court, they got like Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, McDonald's. Well, there, obviously they have McDonald's and stuff, but they have their typical Paraguayan food. You want to go and get their typical food. You don't want to go and get McDonald's, just saying. So then there's this one, like, it's like fast food, I guess you can say, over there, and they sell empanadas. So we're telling them, we want jamón y queso, carne, pollo, like ham and cheese, chicken, beef, like, you know, usual stuff, choclo, corn. And the lady goes to my mom, do you want your empanadas with bread? And she goes, excuse me? She goes, yeah. Do you want your empanadas to have bread in it? So in Paraguay, what they call empanadas with bread, mind you, you're putting bread on bread already. So in Paraguay, what they call that, they call it sandwich nada. But I mean, Paraguay, put pan on everything. So the next thing I'm going to get into you guys with is Guarani. Some of you guys may wonder, like, what in the world am I saying? But for many of my Paraguayans out there, you understand what Guarani is. So to give you a little background, Paraguay is the only Spanish-speaking country that uses their Indian native language as well. So when you go to Paraguay, you will hear people speaking Spanish and Guarani. I know in the schools they teach their children, like, you have to speak Guarani. I don't speak Guarani. I understand Spanish, but they're like, if you were to ask me if I understand Guarani, I would tell you Mishimi. And that means very little in Guarani. At times, it's hard though, because when I'm with family, like, I understand when I speak to them in Spanish, or they'll speak to me. Once they start speaking in Guarani, I'm like, whoa, like, I can't understand you guys. I don't speak Guarani, like, I'm really sorry. So, that's a big one. If you're in Paraguay, don't get confused, because they speak their native language, but they also speak Spanish. So if you go to Paraguay and they're saying something you don't understand, it's most likely Guarani, guys. Just to give you that heads up. Now, I'm going to give you the history on the flag of Paraguay. The flag of Paraguay was first adopted in 1842. Its design and colors are red, white, and blue, tri-band. It was inspired by the colors of the French flag, believed to signify independence and liberty. So now I'm going to go a bit deeper into the meaning of each color. So for Paraguay, the color red represents patriotism, courage, heroism, equality, and justice. The white represents purity, firmness, union, and peace. And the blue represents tranquility, love, knowledge, verity, and liberty. And another fun fact, Paraguay is the only country in the United Nations with a different backside. So if you guys haven't noticed, we have a little symbol in the middle. If you would turn it to the back, we have two. So that's the history book. I am going to pretty much give you the rundown. The culture in Paraguay is very tranquila, like very relaxed, chill. They're never like in a rush. When I go, it's mainly to go visit family. So when I go, I stay in Benjamin Aceval, which is a very small town, way on the countryside, which is in the Chaco. And I love it because I get to see my great-grandmother, abuela, and I get to see my whole family. And also I do have family that live on the city side, so when I do go, I do travel to Asuncion. So now I'm going to get into the food over there. Sometimes they give it the name in Guarani. So if you're saying something, it's most likely in Guarani. They have foods like sopa paraguaya, chipo guasu, beju, tortilla. They have lomitos. Lomitos is so good. If you go to like the countryside in El Campo, they have little concession stands. Like in the city, they have concession stands with the gyros and pretzels. They have concession stands where they make lomitos, and that's like their burgers, and they load it with a whole ton of stuff. It's so good. They have like wraps. Like, it's really good. Our food is very good. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, if you love meat, you're gonna like Paraguay. They also have a lot of seafood there. I don't eat seafood, but I do eat like the meat. Love my meat. And I eat my cultural food there. The biggest thing you will see in Paraguay is that if there is a celebration, there's something we call an asado. And that's when you have like this big barbecue. Another thing about the culture there. is when, okay, say you're throwing a very big party. Like when I went, I had my quinceañera. They run so late on time. Like if you come to the US, we're very punctual, structured, like, okay, you gotta be here at 6. It ends at 9, like whatever that time is. And in Paraguay, 8 o'clock at night is early for them. Like, don't even try making a party at 8 o'clock because people are not gonna come into that door till like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So I had my quinceañera, and the tradition there is that la quinceañera, her parents have to give 2 kisses on the cheek. And that's a culture in Paraguay. When you greet someone you know, you give 2 kisses on the cheek. So when I was there, I was greeting guests for maybe 2.5 hours. The time I ended greeting guests was at 12:34 in the morning, and my quinceañera did not end until 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, we was partying. Like, I'm gonna put the clips down below so you guys can see. Yeah, and I remember when my parents were planning my quinceañera, the lady asked them, this is a thing over there, they will start very late, but to way to end the party, you give your guests breakfast. You give your guests breakfast. Like, I think it's one of the coolest things, but I'm just like, you know, American culture, you leave, you leave. 12 o'clock is the latest for everyone. 6 o'clock in the morning, you give them breakfast. My mom was like, they could get their own breakfast. Like, we ain't paying for breakfast. And listen, I don't blame her. But yeah, they give breakfast at parties to tell you, like, okay, the party's over. Like, eat your breakfast and now you can leave. Like, it's crazy. That's one thing I love about when I go. Like, I have a very big family. So when I go, I get to see all of them and we connect. And it's one of the best things. Like, I get to see all my cousins, and mind you, I am the oldest great-grandchild for my abuela Cata. So I get to see all my younger cousins. They all call me tia sometimes because I'm older, and out of respect, some of them call me tia, and I'm like, but I'm your prima, like. But I honestly, like, I love it when I'm there because I get to connect with them, and I don't get to see them that often, so I never take for granted when I'm there. And I will show you guys like a little montage so you can see like what it's like when I'm actually there, and it's a great experience, honestly, for myself, because I get to reconnect with family that I don't see every day, like, and I miss it at times. Like, I'm gonna be honest, last time I went to Paraguay was 4 years ago, and with college it's been very difficult because it is a lot of money to go. But I do wish to go back, and I do hope like some of my family, like some of you, can come to New York, because I'll take you everywhere. Like, we gonna try, I can't even name it at the top of my head. We'll try so many different things. But yeah, this is my little information about Paraguay, and now let me just get back to, and that was my information video and struggles about things that Paraguayan people deal with. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you liked what you saw, I would actually really like to do struggles that Costa Rican people have to deal with, and I can give you guys an informational video about the culture and everything. I know I probably missed a few things about struggles that Paraguayan people deal with, and even like some of the culture. So for some of my Paraguayan people out there, like, if you know any of them, let's have like a little party down in the comments and see like what you guys come up with, so maybe I can do a part 2 to this. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did like this video and do want to see more, you can give it a thumbs up, and if you like what you see from my channel, you can also subscribe down below, and you can click the bell so you can get notified when I post new videos. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys the next time I post videos. Bye guys. Yes, I got my own little flag. It's not little, it's kind of big, but. And then I got the other side, because, you know, 2 sides is different. I got my flag. I'm like, I'm still recording. Hopefully you learned something from this. Next time, I'll be coming at Maticos and Maticas. So, be ready for that. Okay. Bye, guys. Keep playing my